Okay, welcome back, students. I welcome you back to our 14th lesson, Business Studies, Form 1. And we have been talking about the method of producing documents in an office, and we checked some of the methods, carbon copying being one, and we talked about carbon copying in terms of how it's being used, and also we talked about the demerits and merits towards it. Then thereafter we talked about the duplicating, where we are having ink duplicating, we are also having the spirit duplicating, and etc. And inside the duplication, still what we are still talking about, and the next thing we are going to talk about today is printing under duplicating. Then after that, we'll be able to talk about the other method, which will mark the third one, which is what? Let's just stop it from there because we will read there. Then let's look at the printing as the third example under duplicating as a method of producing what document. So I am Mr. Mboya. And let's look at it. So basically what we are going to look here are the advantages and disadvantages of this method of producing documents. Basically that's the scope, that's the content, that is the objective that we are going to come up with out of this. So printing is the what? The third example under duplicating. Duplicating is a method as number 2 after carbon copying, methods of producing documents. Then under duplicating your printings as number 3. You can see it with choice D here. You are having ink, you are having spirit, which is then C, printing, then this is a method of producing documents using either printing machine or by the what? Mechanical means. So it's all about using the machine to print documents by either printing machine or what? Mechanical means. So copies can be produced using printer, which is connected to the computer. Computer can be connected to print. In fact, iterative computers are always having a command program in them that can allow a person to print. When the computer is connected to the machine, can allow the machine to print what? To print the document that are inside the computer. So I wish you guys could have been maybe around, you could have checked, you could have looked at them one by one, but then we are going to use what we have. So the information is fed into a computer, and the computer is instructed to print the required copies. So if you don't know our printer, this is how our printer looks like. So this one can be connected to a computer. Then there's a format in the computer whereby the document, after getting to where the document is, then there's a format where you can just say print. Then that's, for you to print, you should ensure that it is connected to computer ready, and could be connected to computer wirelessly or with a wire. There are some which are wireless and there are some which are using wire for a connection. So this is how a printing machine looks like. This is just one example of them. Then after that, what is very important in an exam? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? So that's what I want us to look at right now. Sorry for that. So advantages: produce high quality of copies. That machine there produces high quality of copies, and also different colors can be produced. That's another disadvantage. That's also another merit or advantage. Then another one, convenience, where relatively many copies are required. It's very convenient where when many copies are required to be printed. Then another one, does not pollute the environment. Truly, it does not pollute the environment, because we look at it, it uses electricity, and the ink, which maybe might, in one way or the other, may be polluting the environment, is not there because it's used as a machine. Then let's look at the disadvantages. Printers are expensive to acquire. When you look at that machine to acquire, it is very expensive. Then another one, require trained personnel. For you to use it, you must be a little bit to be trained for you to be able to use it. So that's another disadvantage. And also, it requires electricity. Electricity also, meaning that if the electricity is not there, then this gadget here, it will be very hard for it to be put into operation. So those are the disadvantages that we can talk about when we talk about the printing machine. Then after that, we have the stencil. Stencil is also another example under duplicating. Stencil, which is not screen printing. So this is also another example. This is a method of printing where characters can be what? Characters can be printed and cut out from the a piece of paper, placed on the screen, and also ink applied. We are going to look at how it works. So the impression of the characters are left on the surface, and it is mostly used to print words on t-shirts. When you talk about the printed t-shirts, the machine is always used to print t-shirts at the stencil printing or machines. There is whereby there is characters that are being printed and cut out on a piece of paper, or could be made in a plug and place on the screen, and they apply the ink. And if you look at this picture, you can see this is an image. This could be maybe a paper, could be maybe a cloth. So when you want to have an idea how clothes are being printed, we always use the stencil machine, which is an example of methods being used to produce documents in an office. So this is a stencil printing, which is an example under duplicating machine, one of the duplicating machines. Then let's look at the advantages of this. Advantages: it is cheap. That is one. It is cheap using this and acquiring that service using it. Very cheap. Also require little training. It also requires little training. Easy to adapt. Easily adapted. It can adapt to the changes in the environment easily. It can also produce a variety of colors. When you use that machine, it allows many colors to be printed out. That's an advantage, because there are some other machines where they cannot allow printing of different colors or several colors. Then disadvantages: may produce poor quality documents. Especially sometimes you find that the printed t-shirts are fading out if it was of poor quality, if it was not proper. So that's a disadvantage on the other side. And the next, it does not allow the production of many copies. So stencils, or the stencil printing does not allow production of what? Many copies. That's the disadvantage as compared to others. Then also it may pollute the environment because of those ink, too much ink it's using there. There's a problem of communication between it. That one. Then the next one, the fifth one that we're going to talk about is the offset lithography. Offset lithography is another machine under duplication. And if you look at the notes, you see them, they are aligned. This is how offset lithography looks like. You can see it's used in printing of billboards, printing large materials. When you want to come up with a picture composed with words on it, and that picture needs a lot of ink and application of ink to come up with a picture on it. That is offset lithography. This is how it looks like. This is one example of machines that uses that. Then this is where the document to be produced is first filmed using a camera. So the document that to be produced is first filmed using a camera, and the information on the film are used to produce the image on a flat sheet of what? A metal called a plate. Then this plate is then fixed into the printing machines to produce the required documents. Then after that, it is used to produce documents such as certificates, photographs, and can also be used to print on plastic and also metal. So this one is kind of extended. It can be used even to print on the metal. You have seen the metal printed, and also plastics, and etc. Photography, etc. So that is the offset lithography. Let's look at the advantages of offset lithography. So produces high quality documents. That is one. Produces high quality documents. And then it is appropriate where many copies are required. Also appropriate where many copies are required. Then the next, different colors can be produced. Different colors can be produced. That is the next advantage. Then after that, let's look at the disadvantages. So disadvantages: initial and maintenance cost of the machine is high. To acquire that machine is very expensive, and that is a disadvantage. It's also pollute the environment because of the ink and etc. So it will pollute the environment. Then the next requires monitoring. When it is in action, when it's working, require you to check on it, because if there's any mismanagement within the operation, then everything will be in a mess. So that is another disadvantage. Then the next, the machines require electricity for it to work or for it to be in an operation. Require a source of inelastic electricity, which might not be available in some places. That is the disadvantage of using it. Then let's look at the factors to consider when choosing a means of producing documents. When you want to choose all of these means of producing documents, what are the factors you put in consideration before you decide on the method you want to choose? One, the type or nature of the document you produce. If the type of the documents you want maybe to produce are very many, or the nature on a method, the document that you're supposed to produce is supposed to be displayed on a method, that's the that you'll be choosing what offset lithography that we have just said previously. Then if it's maybe a carbon copy, something that just required a manual tracing of the information, then you use the carbon copy. So the type of the nature of the documents to be produced can help you decide on which method of producing documents in an office that you will be able to choose. Let's make this the end of this first video. Let's tune in to proceed from the second one in the next video. Otherwise,